Hello, everyone. Welcome. I guess we could either wait another few minutes for more people, or if you have questions, I'll right away start answering your questions with pleasure. If you do have question, please right away raise your hand or unmute yourself and start talking. Oh, here, Bracha, thank you so much.
How are you?
I am good, thank God. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So nice that you're doing this.
Yes, it's my pleasure. Let's hear.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to know what exactly changes between a dating relationship and a committed relationship. Like, what's that shift that everyone is like afraid of? And we also see like couples that like they're one way when they're dating, and then in a relationship or a committed relationship, like you see like right away something changes. Not like not bad, but just what is it?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. I think, especially for welcome everyone who is coming. Shalom. Just mute yourself if you don't mind. Um, okay, somebody is still unmuted, but I guess it's fine. I don't hear any noise. So the question is, what is it that starts weighing us down when we switch from dating relationship into committed relationship? And this like certain light vibe and certain like happiness and certain joy and floated kind of like energy between the people, it just like disappears in 1 second to some of us, right? When it becomes a marriage, a responsibility. And those shifts happen later on as well. Like that was not part of your question, but I just want to extend. When you're just a couple, and yes, you are already in a committed relationship, it starts weighing you down even further when the minute she gets pregnant and when she has the first baby and then the second baby, right? And it becomes a completely different setup. You kind of join into each other's world, but through different kind of responsibilities and duties and obligations and must do's and all this, the rest of it. I think the collective processes that people throughout years went in the setup of marriage, in the setup of we are committed and committed marriage, you right away start hooking up to those collective programs and happenings, and you start carrying those stories.
The
You not
heaviness.
Right, you're no longer alone. You're no longer, because in a dating, it's not like there is a database of dating. There are a group of people that went through stories in dating, but because it was not specifically identified, oh, you could anytime jump and out of it and be single and you're back to single world, so to speak. And you kind of still in a single world, but you are in that bridge that you could hop off it any minute. So you're not true. Dating is not like a state where everyone is like locked in. Nobody is locked in dating. So there is no stories in our subconscious stored. What is it dating? Oh, dating is like a process in between being single and between being committed. So there's no heaviness there. But in marriage and in like a committed relationship, there is a lot of stories, right? And after I got married, and I had this story, and there is a betrayal, and there is a lack of communication, and there is lies, and there is cheating, and there is a lot there, and you kind of have to expand yourself to be big enough to contain all that and still vibe on that lighter, happy mode as a newly married couples or just committed couples, not to carry this whole baggage of endless people that had issues in the relationship, in a committed relationship. So there are two things. We are hooking up to resources of the committed couples, and we could kind of be part of it and draw out from it and expand through it. And we are hooking up to a heaviness of that whole community, so to speak. And you have to know how to maneuver and know how to float in that whole ocean. So it could easily weigh us down, and it could easily uplift us if we know how to use that resources. Does that answer? I don't want to go too deep. I just want to answer if there is any question towards that.
Yeah. We have to expand ourselves and know that there's more. It's not
Right.
just the feelings you're feeling other people from the collective.
Right. You expand, you accept, you're grateful to them, but you identify that theirs is then and theirs, and mine is now and here, for me. And there's a difference. You really need to have that clarity in here and now, compared to then and theirs. And I'm only able to open myself to anything from there and they if I need to, if I need a resource, if I need a wisdom, if I need patience, if I need deepening. But I'm not just open at any time, taking anything from that ocean of whatever they're offering, right? It's a more conscious presence. I'm here for a specific thing.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
something
you.
to process, something to like integrate from what I just said. And like maybe towards the middle of our meeting, you will have some questions following that and you'll come back.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? It could be a question addressing the same story as we now took. It could be completely different. I'm open for you. And the more questions we have, the more helpful it will be for others. And it could be interesting for all of us. So I'm welcoming all of you to ask you questions. Please raise your hand or just unmute yourself.
How do I let go of somebody who doesn't love me back?
Thank you so much for being here. Just tuning into you, it's something old, and you attracted that for yourself in order to work out some disconnect, especially with your mom. You felt rejected by her on some level and you want to heal that, but it's extremely painful for you to do that with your mom directly, or becomes impossible when you grow up and you kind of check out. What's your relationship with your mom, if you could fill me in?
Um, I think it's good. I think sometimes we're a little bit like combative, but there's been like sort of a desperation from her for me to find somebody. You know, I got a man like she's like my parents in general, but like she goes like find anyone with pants. Like just
They want you to be
yeah,
kind of under somebody's responsibility, not under their responsibility anymore. Is that
right,
the
right.
motive?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's your reaction to that? Your emotional reaction, not what you tell them and like mental process.
Um I just felt really pressured and it caused me to have a lot of pressure to be with the wrong person. And then I was trying to be someone that I thought that this person would want. And thank God I didn't end up with that person, but it caused me to have a lot of I got
Attachment.
self-harm.
Right.
Like I was, and then now I have to live with that. And it's permanent damage. So whatever, I've sort of accepted that like this is my new reality, but you know I felt like when I first moved to Israel 5 6 years ago, I met someone and then I'm like, oh God, why are you bringing me this person and I can't be with them? why am I attracting guys that don't really want to be with me, like take me seriously? You know,
Right.
why am I attracted to the guys that, I don't know.
I will just start saying something. It might be easier for you to continue our conversation, okay? So we'll have back and forth. So the reason why you're attracting someone who is not able to commit and to give back that love, as I said, it's the pattern that you left with your parents. You left it off unfinished. What's happening over there is that we project God, who is forever in committed relationship with us, on our parents. And we are hoping that our parents will carry that unconditional love that we remember as souls from God. So, but the truth is, parents could never be God's. And we actually have to go through separation with them in order to mature. So that projection, after we go through adaptation and assimilation into this world, we have to understand that I projected God onto my mother and my father, waiting for mutual love, comeback love, receiving love unconditionally, forever being there for me. It has nothing to do with any human. I'm looking for God in them, right? Like the more you understand and register with those ideas, and you reclaim back that projection, you say, I needed to project it on them because I was completely unstable here as a baby, as a teenager, or as a toddler. I needed to, so to speak, create in my mind that there is a God right next to me. But now that I'm capable and I could stand on my feet and I know what this world is all about, I'm reclaiming back that projection. I'm taking it back off them. They don't know how to deal with it. They will never be gods. They will never be committed forever. They are not created for that. So I'm reclaiming back that for myself. And you just sit with it and you just say, I'm grateful to my parents for what they did. The rest, I'm on my own between me and God Himself, whatever God means to you.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I was gonna join the Israeli army, and I gave my power away to my father. I asked him for permission to join the army, and I thought he would say yes. And he said no, and he's like, no, you need to get married, you need to come to New York. And I knew, I'm like, what do you mean? There's nothing in New York for me. This is not for me. Like, I know, like, I'll regret this for the rest of my life if I don't take action now. I'm not gonna be fulfilled, you know. And all the time they were like, stay in New York, you know, we'll get you a place, and you need to get married, you need to be like your sister. Why can't you be like your sister, your older sister who's married with kids? And I knew that my
What
path,
is it that you wanted to do back
what they
then?
wanted me to be. And even when I got to, like, let's say my goal weight, it still wasn't thin enough for them. I was like 120, you know, and you know, so I'm like, what's the point if I can never be like good enough? Uh, and you know, they apologized and they were like, oh, we're so sorry, we made you focus so much on getting married that wasn't healthy and whatever. And no, I think we're good now. And they're, you know, but again, there's a lot of weird pressure. It's like I feel like it's very poisonous. And you know, I put enough pressure on myself, you know, because I really want to, I love love, I want to be a young mom, I want to find my person, and like I would love to like travel with him and build a home and have a beautiful family. But also like growing up, like they put me in public school, and I was like, as a Jewish person, a woman, you wanna be a Jew, you wanna have a Jewish identity. And I kind of felt like sort of like disconnected because I didn't have the proper education. Sometimes I feel like a convert myself because I don't know how to pray or whatever. And it's like it's different when you get schooling, when your older sister knows everything about everything. And you know, the respect is like the people are not respecting my siblings are not respecting me sometimes. Like they provide in many ways. They're good. Obviously, no one's perfect, but it's just like I try to set boundaries, like because they could be very bossy. So that's I've been struggling with my older sister a lot lately. And growing up, we weren't friends because everyone's like, oh, she doesn't even know that she's mean. My older sister, she doesn't know. So like I don't. Sometimes I don't. I'm like, are we even related? We're so different, and we think so differently. And she comes from a place of putting fear into people, and I'm not like that at all. I'm not trying to like control people and put fear into them. So I just try to like keep my distance from her, but she's so smothering and crazy. And like when I was younger, I picked up on it. And when I went to, that's another reason why I wanted to move to Israel. Cause like I was telling my parents, I'm like, look, I can't even be in the same country as her. It's she's so crazy and intense and mean. And and whatever, like obviously like no one's perfect. Like I don't want to be mean either, and she doesn't even remember when she gets into these rage like tendencies. And like I'm used to it. I know how to handle it, but
Right. So let's just
I don't
let's just
want
narrow
to
it.
live here. Like if they're pushing me away, they're pushing me, and it's like either I could just not think about it, let it go, not take it to heart, just like just act innocent. Just I'm always on defense. I'm always like trying to cool things off. I'm the peacemaker. It's like it gets tiring after a while, like trying to be the glue that makes peace in the family. And they even had rabbis come and try to, you know, change me and talk to me. Oh, you need to change. You need to. I'm like, everyone's changing and growing every day. I don't know what you're talking about. Like I have a life and do things, but at the end of the day, the rabbi was like seeing how sweet and innocent I am and was siding with me and trying to tell them, you need to be easy on her. You're too extreme. Like anyone can see that. So
Right.
it's funny because they were trying to get the rabbi to like kind of be like put some kind of
Pressure on you.
yeah, and they're like, she's perfectly fine. She's healthy and normal and nice, and like everyone can see that I'm not like a troublesome person. I'm just living my life. And sometimes people can't put themselves in other people's shoes.
Right.
They don't understand what someone is going through.
So the story here, I would suggest something, and you maybe stay with it and see how it sits right with you. You definitely want to be done with your parents' story. It should be nice and cute to refer to go back to, but not to be kind of completely sunk in by it, completely taken by it. Even when you retell the story, it shouldn't be as invested. It shouldn't be as emotionally entangled, right? So that's where you want to be. You want to be, oh, that was nice. That was confusing. That was funny. That was silly. That was stupid. You could say those things. It's okay. But emotionally, you're not there. You're in your own world, knowing where you're going, knowing what relationship you're in. And the guy will reflect that. Right now, you're attracting guys who are very much still not done with their tribal stories and very much not ready to commit and very much not able to share love in a partnership, and they're invested somewhere else, whatever parent they projected. It could be obsession about Israel, obsession about health, obsession. It could be their parent, you understand, but they're not done there. It looks to us, to some of us, that we might move out from our parents' house and we're independent, but we project a parent onto something else, a religion, a guru, a rabbi, health freakness, or yoga obsession, or anything else. It could be a next parent that we're obsessed about. So we're not free to look into partnership. Partnership requires full freedom.
I just want to say one thing is that the fact that I didn't break free from my parents when I was 18, 19, 20 to go to Israel, to go to the army, it really hurts me now because my dad says things like, "Oh, like, you're obsessed with me, like you can't marry me." Or like, "Oh, you'll never be a soldier." I'm like, "Yeah, because you didn't allow me to be, and I wanted to." Like, I respected you, I listened to you because I honor my parents, because I was trying to please you, to do what
Right.
you thought was right, which was not right. It was not right for me.
Right.
So
So here, number one, you need to learn to forgive yourself. It's a very important thing that back then you didn't stand up for yourself and you didn't.
he's like,
Uh,
"Oh, I can't marry you." I'm like, and he says comments like this, like, "Oh, you'll never be a soldier." Like, yeah, I could have been all those things. I could have been married. I could have been a soldier if you just let me go. And like the second I gave up my power by asking permission,
right.
I'm always asking, like, "Oh, dad, like, is it okay if I, whatever?" And obviously, you want to respect, but it's like at a certain point, you need to know this is what I really want, and this is what I'm gonna do. And now I do what I want, and then I tell them after the fact because then it's I have to be very discreet. It's annoying,
Right. So,
but
that specific part, and I'm sure it's going to be helpful to others. Thank you so much for opening up and
uh,
being so transparent here. It's really,
sure.
really, I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people. So, number one, this whole episode that you didn't let yourself be as kind of free and honorable towards yourself and towards your decision back then. You just have to relook at this whole situation through a different lens. Do not get stuck that you didn't let yourself, it's because of them, it's their fault, you betrayed yourself, you asked their permission. I want you, for your own sake, to rewrite the script of that story and say like this: I, regardless, was not meant to be in the army. Whether my parents would allow or not, it had to be like that. This is exactly how it played out. It would play out even with their blessing. For some reason, this or another, I would never end up there, and I would never live in Israel. And this, for that period of my life, had to play out like that. And I make peace with how it played out. I free everyone involved in blame and shame and guilt and the rest of it, because those feelings hold you back from love. When you have feelings of guilt and shame and blame, you cannot place love in that segment of your life. There is no love there. And you don't want any segments of your life to be lacking love. You are given love by birthright. You are allowed to put love anywhere and everywhere, and you want to do it for yourself. And right now it weighs you down, it overwhelms you, and there's a lot of pain because there is no love in that particular part of your life. So it's your job to reclaim love towards that and say that was all by God's choice. My soul chose not to go. There was some confusing story there mixed in that my dad got involved. I had to ask permission, blah, 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 blah. But it's really not relevant. My soul didn't actually want to go at that time. Right now, when you free yourself from guilt and blame, looking forward, you have to say, who am I asking permission now? Who is that one that replacing my dad, or maybe not replacing, maybe it's still my dad on some level, that was without even asking openly permission, I'm still somewhere referring what would they say, how would they react, how would they feel about that choice and this choice. Who is that I need to sort that out, because if I'm not free on my own and I'm not grateful for all the authorities that were there in my past, and I'm not with honor and respect truly not referring to their view and their approval in my mind, then I'm not free. I really am not free yet. And that will follow you in a different phase, in a different shape. It could be a potential partner that kind of holds you hostage in some way, or it could be this or the other or the third or the tenth, right? So your job is to free yourself. Okay, my dear, I hope I answered. Just maybe a little back, I respond, and then I'll take somebody else.
Yes. is there anything I can do to speed up finding my most healthy soulmate? Is there anything I could do other than mend
Yeah.
my parents' relationship and let it go?
Yeah, from what I feel, your spirit, which is very much interested for you to mature in this world, wants you to upgrade towards the, because you could attract marriage relationship where you're going to be a daughter for a lifetime and he's going to be your daddy for a lifetime, but your spirit doesn't let you. It looks like you are not, on some level you're not going there without completing and concluding parent daughter relationship. You see, in now everything is changing, energies are changing on all levels. Before, looking back, 90% of all of us present here, all our mothers and fathers were in daughter-father relationship. All of us have that reference somewhere in the family. Right now, souls come and reincarnate. They don't want that anymore. It's been downloaded, so to speak, enough. The world has enough database on that stories, on that type of relationship. Right now, there's different setup of relationship the world is requesting, and you are not going there. You could go there and repeat the same stories, the same setup, but it looks like it's not going to be easy. You go back there and you get burned there and you get like shoot back to your single place, only in order to decide and want. I want to come into relationship with a guy from a clean place, from completely independent woman place where I'm not referring, I'm not afraid not to be respectful, not to be honorable to my parents. None of it is relevant anymore. World does not want those stories. Yes.
I'm listening. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe just sit with it a little bit. I know I didn't answer directly, but I said a lot here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay, anyone else? Just open the microphone and just start talking if you have a question. Shura, yes.
Shira.
Shira.
Yes. I
I'm
like
sorry,
it
I have to get
better.
used. I have to get used to Shira. Shira is so beautiful.
Yes. I don't know if this cute girl still listening, but from my point perspective, what I went through was being so insecure and dependent on everybody's opinions. I just would like to say there is a big deal. Start trusting Hashem, okay, and really, really, try to start learning how to respect yourself and respect everything that you have, and it's helped me big time helped me, okay.
Yeah.
And that's my suggestion, and I'm back to my questions from the previous like a meeting. I even wrote you the message, like how I can proceed, or what are the steps, okay, because I always need the graphics of the steps, okay. What should I do? For example, maybe I still don't feel that, like, maybe I really didn't let go some guilt that I passed on my daughter, okay, because by doing the same mistakes that I did towards my mom at the time, towards my parents, okay, maybe it's still there, and I would like to know how to work with it, how to let it go completely, that it will help her open her way, to get out of this.
I would love to refer to our previous conversation, but right now it's fresher now, and we are kind of even
Okay,
different. If
okay.
you could reframe shortly, as short as possible, what exactly is the question? What guilt feeling?
The question is that my relationship with my daughter are very, very not in the right place right now, okay. And for me it feels like it's because of the guilt she feels that happened, like whatever she was cause, or she was a helper to happen to me, like me signing the papers that I've lost my home, I've lost my place of living, okay. And I feel that she is feeling so guilty that she's closing the way, okay, to our relationship. Like, I don't know how to do it, because as I told you before, I was praying, and I'm praying to Hashem every day to help her out, to come out from the dark to the light, and to see better. Okay. Yes, it were time that I was waiting for her to say, sorry, Mom, I'm sorry, but it's never happened. And it's okay. I forgive her. It's not the point. I went through so much in my life that right now, this is for me the most important, that my daughter will see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt and
Yeah.
we're going to have back and forth. So far, so what I collected, I feel your job right now is to sift and sort and understand and acknowledge that, like you mentioned towards that girl, the bitachon, the idea of trusting God, it's very much vivid here to me. We are all here under God. Yes, we have tendency to save someone, to help someone, to stretch our hand, to put our own personal belongings or at risk, right? Or whatever financial, whatever we have for ourselves, we have tendency to put it at risk. But that way we replace God in their life. So what happens is, just leave your daughter and your relationship between you and her aside. Between you and God, what was out of balance? Out of balance was that you stood for your daughter on the level of God. You took God's responsibility on yourself. And you need to calmly acknowledge that. There is no need for guilt, no need for blame. Just like, oh, that's true. She has God. She had a situation with home where I decided to step in and to sign paper, home or business or husband or something, right? I decided to step in without saying to God, you run the world. Everyone gets unconditional love and presence from you. My daughter is not an exception. She is under your wing more than I could ever provide, more than I could ever give and receive back. You are number one in her life. I give her over to you. If you will come and knock on my door saying that you need to give everything you ever owned to her, I'll know it's coming from you. But I'm not going to do that step coming towards her as God and saving her. I just want you to deeply understand one point. When we replace God towards somebody's life, we lose our own connection with God on that level. Our own connection with God here becomes, God says, oh, you want to replace me? By all means. And he steps out in a way. So we don't have God anymore. In a way, the way that we could receive and we could get and we could come to, we lose that connection. We kind of become him, which we truly should. We should emanate him. We should look like him. We should open our heart like him in a way, right? And we should resemble him. But at the same time, we should acknowledge, what am I doing? Within my relationship with God, am I ready to give up that connection that I'm receiving, I'm getting, I'm asking? I'm ready to give that up just because I want to entertain being God for someone else. To be God for someone, it's a huge price. All of us went through it. We've been gods to someone, and then we lost love and light for ourselves because we were the one who made that choice. So far, I said a lot here. I want you to come back to me and tell me, how does that sit?
It sits very well. And last time when you told me that I want to give that, the solving of problem to God, you told me it's wrong. Like, you have to work on your own guilt. Where are you? Because you passed this guilt to your daughter. About God, whatever you say, yes, this is what helped me. Okay, this is what helped me to leave everybody behind. Do that I was worrying for my grandchildren. I saw things and I heard things that I was very devastated. And every time I would have put my eyes to the sky and I would say, God, I know you're taking care of them. I know that you are sending me to other place for me to become stronger and to become better for everybody of them. Okay. Of course, my trust in God is good. But when I helped my daughter, it wasn't about feeling sorry or worrying. I was represented with the, with the plan for the business, and the only thing is needed just to buy 2 trucks and, to do, and they need loan for this. And I tell you the truth, I didn't want to sign it because I knew I'm not a God who can help. I'm living, in Berry House, trying every dollar, to sustain myself. God helps me all the time. Okay. I didn't want to. And my daughter talked me in. Okay. Let's say
Okay.
this way. And because of this, I think she feels so guilty and she cannot work our relationship for the best. Like
Okay,
we,
so let's slow down, right?
yes.
So the whole setup, just like I told the girl before, the whole setup with her army and not going to the army and blah blah blah, you had to fall and be talked into the story that was by the God's choice, and you give it back to God. And the whole developed guilt feeling that your daughter developed because of that, God wants her to mature through that guilt feeling. Just give space for all that unfolded.
Mhm.
Give your permission, so to speak, for everything that opened up in front of you as it is, that it's God's will. It looks to me that I did too much, she did too this, she talked me into it, now she feels guilty, she doesn't know how to even out the balance, she doesn't know how to face her shame. This is her path. This is how is in a maximum loving way she could mature and become whoever she needs to become next. And I let that happen. Just allow that energetically. Say, I'm so grateful. It's exactly as it is now. Not 1 inch this direction or that direction. As it is unfolding with all the bombarded feelings that she's going through, not knowing how to come back to normal setup, back and forth mother-daughter relationship. This is what's perfect for me, and this is what's perfect for her. Not a moment, not an inch different. The minute you accept the story as it's unfolding and you say, God is in charge, He knows what's best for all of us, in which pit to sit for how long, He knows what's best for us. I let it go. I accept and I love this whole situation as it is. I have no problem. God, I have everything here covered. I'm not questioning anything. I don't need to look for an answer, for solution. This is amazing. Just
Yeah.
sit energetically with that.
Yes, I tell you the truth, I am at this level already. Thank you,
Beautiful.
God, because I have no worries, I have nothing. But if it's still their place for me to help her, this is what I'm asking. Like,
God is the best help.
okay,
I
okay.
just want
This
you
is
to
it.
know.
Now I've got it.
I
Yeah.
want you to know. Just
Yes.
repeat this mantra. No mother's love could ever compete with God's love. We're always competing. Mother's love cannot be replaced. It's true. It's true. It's extremely sophisticated and it's unconditional and it's on a level that nobody could compete. No romantic love could compete with it. No blah, blah, blah love, political or patriotic love to anything. Mother's love is really deep, but
Mhm.
God's love is higher.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, my dear. Anyone else?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
It's my
You want
first
to
time.
introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. I just know I just joined the Zoom like in a bit later stages, so sorry.
It's okay.
Would you like me to say the first name, last name? I'm not sure. Okay,
Just the
anyhow,
first name and
yeah.
where you're calling from, how you
Oh,
found
okay.
out
So
about me, if that's okay. Uh-huh.
yes, definitely. So my name is Ella. I'm calling from Toronto. And
Mhm.
how did I find about you? It's a very good question. It's absolutely the person who's right now on the Zoom, on this specific Zoom, just mentioned it once, send me a link without really any explanation, but just give it the chance. And I think it's maybe a second or third time she's tried to do that, but
It
somehow it
was
never
me.
happened
It was
before.
me.
That's right. No, okay, you said it. That's how I know. Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
so they just like I don't know how that anyhow, so it's meant to be. Basically, as the saying was the student's ready, the teacher will arrive somehow. I just want to comment something. When I joined in, the young girl was talking about that she couldn't join the army, da da da. So I just want to like, suggest, I don't know. So it's a lot of Israel has not, of course, at the moment, they have a lot of programs, but at any age you can join. Not necessary army, like, go be a fighter, but humongous amount of programs of how you can help and be helpful and useful on a different level, even to, if she still wants to do it, she should look into that. It's an amazing, amazing program. The most of them
Right.
even subsidized by Israeli government. Like it doesn't cost much, but not only experience you, it's a big deal. My brother went there. That's how I know. And there is, I think the age, um, I think until the age of 55. So I think she will have quite some time to do it. There's lots of programs out there. Doesn't have to
Right.
be necessarily a fighter. So it's available online. She can reach out to the Embassy of Israel, and it's a program from 2 weeks to a year. And you still can feel, and she will feel, whoever wants to do that. I think it's an amazing opportunity just to. And today days also, it's a way to maybe how we all feel to do something. But for the younger
Yes.
people, it's much more. So I'll strongly recommend to look into that.
Thank you so
That's
much for
that's
giving this.
that's put aside. So I have a lot of questions, but hearing here and there, like whatever you were saying, I will ask generic question.
Mhm.
My generic question will be how to help yourself to manage anger that builds inside of you, the anger out of the frustration, without giving any. I know if you cannot answer, I get it. Every anger has a base towards something or somebody, but yeah,
So
I
what
can
comes
sit with that.
I will just kind of flow with my response. I don't know if it's going to sit right with you, but what comes up 100%, um, you don't honor or respect or allow, I think is the right word, some parts of you. Certain things of you don't accept, you criticize, you put down. And when it triggers with others, it causes the reaction of anger and irritation. So it's really not about them and their behavior or misbehavior or something. It
No, it's
triggers,
absolutely me. Absolutely.
right. So it's absolutely you. But the question is, can you come back and finally meet that you and finally show up for that you and say, I love you as you are. You are totally normal and totally fine, whether it's the way I look, the way I act, the way I behave, the way I make choices. As you are, for me, for my kind of estimation and marking, you are excellent. I love you. And you like embrace yourself with that presence, finally looking at myself. And I think that should take some of the anger and irritations. You will look at the similar situations and you will not have that Anger. And what you do with anger pattern, you repress it. That's another pattern that you learn to do maybe as a kid or teenager. You don't show it up right away. You repress, you collect until it becomes impossible, and then it kind of comes out in an ugly way. Is that true?
Well, in a way, I guess all of us, you have to sometimes be a hero, sometimes a caregiver, sometimes whatever need to be, you need to care on the situation. And right, it's like you just
So
don't
at
let
the
it go right
moment,
away.
right, you don't have techniques or tools how at the moment express that you're not cool with that. You kind of create that polite setup where you're there for a person, you understand, you get it, etc., etc. So that what happens with the anger, it gets repressed. And repressed anger is really bad stuff. You really it could affect your health, etc., etc. So you really need to like reshift and just say, okay, before I was doing that, right now I have to learn at the moment when things show up and come up, say, hey, I have something to say. Doesn't sit right with me. And without violence, without any attack, without any convincing or convicting or etc., you just reinstate what you are about and what's right for you and what's not right for you. They could be whatever they are about, and it's fine, but you really need to voice it out. Learn to voice out at the moment what doesn't sit right with you. And that's it's a lesson for you. It's not as simple for you. Like it might sound simple for others, and maybe some parts of you might think it's simple, but there is a specific area in your life that you cannot make yourself voice at the moment out of respect to your space that this does not sit cool with you.
Right. I hear what you're saying. Um, like at the moment when something is going wrong, when you, and it's human nature, if you're trying to talk back. So what I found the best technique what works for me, just to how to de-escalate everybody and everything, including myself. I have a child also with some disabilities, so and then one technique they're being taught, like you have to remove yourself from the situation if you cannot hear it or anybody else if he doesn't hear you. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
sit with that and then come back. It's just like the parallel I can have is like just what's the point to speak with the person like in if he's drunk, right? The same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm in a
But
much better place than before because I do.
the key here is more and more fall in love with yourself in a good way. You are kind of in the background, everything else and everyone else in the front, and your value depends on how of a quality of service you are for others. That's how you value yourself. If I'm in a good service, in a good space, even if I'm managing my anger for others better than yesterday, then you qualify yourself. So that is a disconnect. You are not good because you serve others good. You're good because you're good. You deserve your own love. Your body deserves your love. Your presence, your persona deserves your love, regardless whether other people receive from you and not receive, get from you, not get, regardless. So that has to shift.
Yeah, it's a lot of homework. I thank you.
Yeah. It's very clear to me that your direction of self honor comes based on what you do to others, and that is wrong. And that is not love. That's what I'm trying to communicate here. That is not love. It's a program. It's like you are programmed and you're only feeding that program to you, that you kind of It's like you're in the kitchen of that program, serving, washing dishes for that program every day, serving that program, and it's empty of love. Love begins when you find it inside you, your own connection with something higher, and then through you it flows. And it flows very, very naturally. No pressure, no need to show up, no responsibilities. You're just in your bed, you're just drinking your coffee, and that love other people receive. It's not a must do. It just happens.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah. I just want to mention the video and that you post the role that you put the name of it to be employed by Hashem. And you know what? It helped me. Maybe it will help somebody else. When you start to feel a little bit frustrated from somebody, you just remind yourself, I'm employed by Hashem. What should I do now? I should love everything that comes from Him. And this is what helps me, at least. Maybe it will help somebody else. Because it's a very strong word to be employed by Hashem. And at the same time, it's so simple, to use it and to remember it every day and every moment of your life.
Yeah.
Would you
Mhm.
please be able to share this video or link? Thank you.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. Hope it was helpful. I think we could take a few more questions, or maybe one. Depends how long. Anyone wants to speak? Just unmute yourself. Yes, Bracha?
Someone
Olga?
wrote something on the chat. Maybe I'll read it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
She wrote, Hania wrote, I've been journaling a lot for over 2 years, very seriously, watching talks on relationships. The ideas floating around to question is it is a process I wasn't ready to do until I was simply ready. I don't know if it's a question or a comment, Hania. Is it a question or a comment?
I think it was towards the first
Oh,
question
okay.
or second question.
Oh, she was writing an idea. Okay.
Thank you so much. Olga, you had a question? Yes.
Yes, I have a question. Sorry, I have a very poor concentration. Maybe it's going to be a question, maybe not. But anyway, at the last sentence you said it's loving yourself, and I have a really bad trouble to loving myself. I really tuning into someone to help or do something for them, and then I think unconsciously I'm waiting for them to love me back. It's not that it was before more, but now I'm just in a way loving doing for somebody, but not for myself. I really don't know how to take care of myself and loving it. I may do something, then I feel like bored, or it doesn't feel as much as it feels for somebody. You know, it's
Right.
is it even at home? I cannot do it by myself. It's if it's not for someone, then I cannot. I can't. I feel like empty, so empty. I cannot find that like happiness doing for myself.
Mhm.
You know? I
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I think we all understood the question, and your concentration is great, and you worded in the right way. I think accepting yourself like that is number one. That's what comes up. That the fact that I could only give to others, and that gives me a sense of fulfillment and self of belonging and self of part of something larger than me. That's what right now is in front of me, and I accept myself. I think the energy of acceptance will bring you to self love. First, accept what is, just like I told Shira, right? Accept what is. It's not about is that what's in front of me truly right, truly approved by God. It's the energy of acceptance that you're after. You're after, am I accepting fully everything till the last percent of the whole setup? If not, that is going to hold me back. It's going to pull me back. It's going to create some like disconnect with myself, because you disapproving yourself again and again. I should love myself, but I don't. You see, like this is a conflict. And you want to say, as I am right now, I'm loving helping others, and I am not helping myself. You see how different this energetic answer from the previous caller. She is on a different level, a little bit of self-love. And if somebody would look at me and say, like, oh, this and this answers do not match. But for you specifically, you just need to flood your current moment with that acceptance. This specific setup is absolutely fine. I'll get somewhere after I accept it fully. I'll get the tuning in, the sense of direction. How is it to love myself? What is it loving myself means to me? What is it giving to myself and receiving pleasure from it means to me? One step at a time. It's not supposed to happen by pushing yourself there. You'll get there. First accept. First be in a conflict-free setup. There is no conflict. Conflict will block any further movement. Your job right now is to leave that conflict, to solve the conflict. It's fine. Where I am is fine. If I could serve other people, it's fine. And just sit with it. Your mind will look for another conflict. And it's better to, in a way, the stories that our mind tells us, all the details and the past and the present and the details about the present, it's not part of the solution. It's actually part of the problem. So your job is to prune and shrink the story that your mind is telling you. Just say, what's the bottom line? What is it that I feel? I still feel guilty. Let me look at the guilty feeling and unravel it and say, I free myself from that guilt. I did everything right. It's a joke even to think that I did it wrong, because it's all part of life lives through me. And it happened to be that episode and this episode, and life continuously living through me. And I'm part of that flow, like to stop and say, I did that wrong, and he did that wrong, and she did that wrong, and I'm guilty not loving myself. Life is living through you in this specific pattern. Allow that to happen, allow that to move to the next. You just like a specific channel that moving certain episodes of this life due to certain conditions that you have. And the less storytelling in your mind happens, the shorter it is. All the stories that you tell in your mind bring it down to one emotion. One emotion. Always lower it to one. What is it that I feel? Where is it that I feel that in my body? What is it? One word feeling. Especially for Russians, feelings are disconnected. Like, I think for Russians, with a Russian upbringing, Russian background, the feeling that we refer to is нормально. It's normal, right? Like that's the only feeling that we could identify. Oh, that's a feeling. What is there more feelings? What are feelings? So go back to feelings as much as you can. Feel it in your body, feel sensations in your body. Come back to your body, refer in your body. Prune your mind storytelling. Prune it, cut it, shut it. Just like yes, yes, yes. Say yes and come back to the feeling. And whatever feeling you're left with, you need to solve the conflict, and then the flow will continue. You will come to loving yourself. It's a process. You were taught not to love yourself. You saw benefits in it. You were stuck in those benefits. It's okay. We've been there. Right now, obviously, it's bothering you. It's a good sign. That means you're going out from it slowly. How quick you're going to get out, we don't know. You'll get there. So allow the space and the time, and limiting the storytelling in your mind, solving the conflict, referring in your body, referring to the one emotion, one feeling word, and it will take you there. Trust the life flow, trust the God's flow. It will bring you there. You refer and go back and say, I truly want to experience healthy self love. And just that's it. You are heard, you are listened, you are taken into consideration by that request, and the flow of life will bring you there. Does that answer?
Yes, yes, thank you. Because sometimes I do take something for myself, do, and then feel guilty not to do the other things because it
Right.
seems so much things for me always to do, no matter it's at work or at home, and it's kind of piling up and yes, lots of to take care of. And if I take care of myself, I feel like uh, after like I kind of waste my time. I should say it like that roughly. Like I mean, it's kind of I wasted my time, and I feel guilty about it. But
Okay, so that guilt feeling you need to solve right away. You need to say, I did what I was supposed to towards them, towards me, at that moment for the world. Exactly what I did, what had to play out. And it played out through me. I'm a part of a bigger system. That system decides what should play through me, through others, and flow through me, through others. And it's all very, very, very high conscious system. It really does its job in the right way. And be part of that system, honor it, understand it, love it. And then forgiveness, you don't even need to forgive yourself. On that vibration, you kind of understand life flows through you. And it's okay. Tomorrow, your consciousness will be a little bit higher. Different patterns will flow through you. Maybe more pleasant, maybe more interesting, maybe more creative, maybe more entertaining, more of quality to much more value for many more people. But right now it's like that, and that's okay. It has a value too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Nothing would flow through you. If you're here and things, energies flow through you, that means you are of value. You are important. You're serving some purpose. So just like always, catch the blame and guilt right away. Right away. Don't let it sit there. Right?
yeah, thank you very much. With you, is everything so easy. It's, everything is flowing like as it is. It's like life is here. Yeah, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, my dear. Anyone else? Last word, maybe just um, a conclusion of what you took, what you are thankful for, or what you didn't understand. Some remarks.
Miriam, another like quick question. If somebody wants to have a little bit more in person,
Yes.
just to develop further, what are the
Yes.
options, please?
So I have helpers and I have websites with my consultations, private meetings. We also have different programs and different sessions that I teach in groups upon request, let's say on relationship or self development. We could offer different options for you either in private or in a group to come and communicate further.
Uh,
Definitely.
is this something that you were comfortable to put in a
Group, yeah. I'll
group
share it
chat
in the
or okay, thank you.
yeah, we'll send the links.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. All right. Anyone else? I love you all. It was beautiful to see you all here. And we'll continue, please, God. Thank you again for joining, for those that joined the group. And we will have more to come. We have Telegram where a lot of my recordings are saved. Here, for those that joined in, is not saved. So you could go back and listen to some of my recordings, questions and answers, some videos. And we'll share the link of the private sessions here with you. And there's phone numbers of my helpers that you could connect to and speak to and ask for different options. Love you all. Keep well and enjoy your day. Take care, my dears.
Thank you very much.